So now in this part we're going to add an explosion when there's a contact between an enemy bullet and a bad guy. So let's go ahead and go to initial scene, and what we're going to do is I'm going to create an actor and I'm going to call this explosion. And from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to just double click on it, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up my explosion animation, and they're named sequentially. So, and I'm just going to do 4. So I'm going to drag 4 images of the explosion, all from smaller to greater. And if I just dragged basically these 4 images in, right? I just dragged them in, then it automatically creates an animate, and then you can change the speed as you see fit. I'm going to do about 17 frames per second because I want them to disappear pretty quickly. And then we don't want this to loop, okay? We just don't want a one-time thing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a timer and destroy it after 0.2 seconds, or whatever you see fit. So after, and let's see, actually, yeah, let's do after 2.2 seconds, what we want to do is we want to destroy the explosion. We don't want it to linger. So we're going to go to destroy, put that in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to spawn this actor each time there's a collision with a bad guy. So let's go to a bad guy and double click on this, and let's go create a rule and just spawn explosion. And when this collides with, instead of saying just the bullet, let's just do actor tag and just do ammo. So it'll explode if you make a collision with the fireball or the bullet. And then what we're going to do is we're going to spawn the actor, okay, and we want to spawn the explosion. And let's get the explosion down here, okay, and this can be just left as is. So let's go ahead and just kind of preview and see if that works. Cool, there we go. And you can kind of adjust it as you see fit. So now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and copy that to the other bad guy. So Command C to copy if you're on a Mac, and I'm going to go to the bad guy 3, and I'm going to paste it in there. And I'm also going to go to bad guy 2, and I'm going to paste that in there. And then I'll do that for the this guy as well. Okay. And so now when we play, it should. All right, there you go. And now I'm going to take off that fireball because the fireball I feel is a little bit easy. So I'm going to go back to the fireball, and this is personal preference. And let's do. So I'm going to turn that on just to make it a little bit easier. That's completely up to you. So now I want to add, just to wrap this up, I want to add some sound to it. So to do that, what we're going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to add another sequence of these guys where it says bad guys, and I'm going to hold down Alt and copy that. Alright, well it's not letting me copy, so I will click down here at the bottom and just do bad guy sound. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to just drag in the sound that we want to hit. Actually, it depends if you want the sound to make the sound every time you hit any bad guy, you can just assign it to bad guys. If you want all the bad guys except for the final bad guy, to make a sound when you make contact with them, you can kind of hand pick them. So actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just delete that. We don't need that. We'll assign it to all of them, just the bad guy tag in general. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna go to my fireball and I'm going to go to play sound. Okay, and when I'm going to create a rule that says and drag the play sound in there. So create a rule and drag play sound in there, and we want to first go to collide, and when it collides with the actor tag bad guys, we want it to make a sound. So what sound we want is we want the, and I have it in here, the fire small sound. Okay, so we want the fire small sound, and I just dragged it in there, so you don't even have to click play sound. If you drag a sound file, like I just dragged that .ogg file in there, and it just automatically did play sound, and that's fine. So you can just drag it in there. So now I'm going to rename this sound, or fire small sound to be accurate, and you can do that run to completion. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this and put it into the bullet as well. And let's do that. And so now when I preview it, it'll make the explosion and the sound. All right, and continue to play this, test it out a few times. Remember, if you want to, and I'll stop that. Let's see. Let me just. So remember, if you want to make this harder or easier, you can change the speed of the spaceship. You can change the speed of the bullets and the fireballs. You can change how fast the enemies come down. So kind of fine tune it and tweak it to make it not too hard, but not too easy. Just enough so that you want to come back and play it over and over again. All right. Congrats and good job on this.